You know, life is tricky, right? You live life enough, you start to realize that there are difficulties all around. On the journey to success, you start to just realize, hey man, this is not what I cut out to be. This is not what I signed up for. I had a wise man once tell me your level of success will be dependent on your relationship to pain, discomfort, however you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. But whatever you do in life is going to require something other of you. Everyone goes through difficulties. Everyone goes through scenarios in life where they don't understand how this is going to unfold or whatever. The best of the best that I've seen in life always have this relationship to contradictions and difficulties that they embrace. We at Life Leaders, man, we've just come to this place where I'm going to seek out discomfort because I want to train myself. I want to train my mind. I want to train my body. I want to train my physiology and my spirit to be better today than I was yesterday. And the only way I get there is through resistance. I have to face some kind of challenge. I'm not saying that we're sadistic by any nature to go out and go, well, you know, I'm feeling good today, so I'm going to try to beat myself against a tree or something to see how bad I can feel. No, that's not what I mean. But I am saying that we as leaders have to be attuned into, you know, there's an old church saying that trouble doesn't last always. And then the reverse of that is true, right? Good times doesn't last always. And it's not in the good times that great people are made. It's in the contradictory times that strong men, strong women are made. And it's in the moments of those contradictions that your hard, rough edges or your soft edges are just hewn off. And then the person that comes out of the other side is different than the person that went in. I'm a weightlifter, right? I've been doing this stuff for, since I was 18 years old. So I'm 30 plus years in the gym. I've seen everything, right? I started at 160 pounds and I've seen it all, right? Went in there and I had a goal of, my first goal was, hey man, if I could bench 315, I'd feel like a real man. Like that is the goal. If you know weights, right, it's 345 pound plates on each side, and that was the goal until I got there, right? And I remember the year where I blew past 315 pounds so easily and readily. And I say easily because it felt like I had gone from struggling with 300 pounds to snap, crackle, pop. Now I'm at 350 pounds. And it just felt like an overnight deal. But it wasn't an overnight deal. It was years and line upon line and workout upon workout and protein shake after protein shake and, rest cycle after rest cycle and work harder and push farther. And it was questions for the old men in the gym. It was, hey man, let's read a book. Back then we didn't have YouTube. So it was, hey, read Arnold's book on weightlifting and read Lee Haney's book on how to get a big chest and all these things, right? But the resistance, right? When you go to the basis of this, the resistance is what made me stronger. It's the resistance. It's the contradiction. So gravity is the contradictory force, right, of the weights. The weights in and of themselves are nothing, but it's the gravity that pulls it down by the density of the weight. And me pushing against the contradiction that made me stronger. And it feels like all of a sudden I'm going, and then all of a sudden I get this magic quote unquote breakthrough, and I'm different now than what I was yesterday. And then in the process of life, you start to realize, I have several people that call me and ask me questions about money success. Most people equate success to money, so they call me because of what I do and who I am and what I've become. How do I get there? How do I get there? And reality sets in that, you want to be successful in whatever measure, whether it's a good marriage, a good health, good finance, good whatever. It's just built on the resistance. It's in the hard times, it's in the tough times that you become something else. Jim Rohn said it like this. He said, don't ask for $1 million for what it can buy. Ask for the $1 million for what it makes you to acquire it. And it's the same. Like whether you're doing weightlifting or whether you're doing financial stuff or you're trying to hewn out or honed out a great marriage, a good relationship, even, heck, just good friendship, right? I've got a really close friend of mine, Don Wells, and we're brothers, but man, we're 15, 17 years, and we've had some really tough times. I cuss you out, you cuss me out, it's forget you and all these other things. And then you come out of that realizing that without those hard times, in my marriage, I'm 23 years into this, 22 years into this. Feels like 23, I guess, but I'm 22 years into marriage, and the reality is that, the good times make you sweet, I guess, right? But it's the tough times where you figure out, how bad do you want it? You really want to be married, right? You really want to walk down this journey. I got 3 teenage girls. Well, 2 teenage girls. One is 20 now. We're in 2023 if you see this later, but 3 teenage girls. And my model to them is, a couple things I want you to know, girls. And one of them is strong people are made in tough times. It's not the test that you get right. It's not when you make 100 on the test that you know what you learn. It's when you stumble and fall that you figure out what kind of person you are. It's how you respond to that. Life is forged in the loss. It's not forged in the victory. Life is forged in the losses. It's how you respond to the loss, right? It's how if you're on the golf course, it's what you do after the shank. It's what you do after you miss the putt, right? The best of the best, Tiger Woods, the Jack Nicklaus on the golf course, it's what they did after they lost the tournament, right? Tiger, I heard a story just recently. Tiger Woods was telling a story. This is back before all of his injuries and whatnot. He had just shot the lowest round ever in the Masters. And he goes from the 18th hole, the 18th green, to the driving range to work on something because someone asked him about it. He said, well, I didn't like the way my swing was going. He just broke the record of the lowest round at the Masters ever. This has been a few years ago. And he goes straight to the driving range because it's not what you think about me that counts, but it's the me that I think and believe that I can become. Or when I do the best that I've ever done, how do you respond to that? Or when you miss the putt on 18, how do you respond to that? Because it's in the forging that life becomes you, and you become the life that you want. It's not in the good times, right? It's in the, hey, my swing felt a little bit off. I know I can do better. And if you want to really become a great leader, you really want to become a great leader at anything, whatever it is, be a great dad, be a great mom, be a great husband, be a great wife. It doesn't matter what it is. It's how you respond to those contradictory moments, those things that it feels like the wind of contradiction is pushing against you. It's how you respond there. It's what you do when you lost the investment. It's what you do next, right? It's not, well, I lost an investment. I got a buddy of mine right now. I got a friend of mine. He lost an investment and then he pulled back and he's scared to invest anything now. And he has this hold it down mentality. And that's not where success is granted. Success is granted when you're bleeding, your knees are bleeding from the scars you just fell down from, and you get back up and brush yourself off and you keep riding. Everybody that's ever learned to ride a bike has fallen, guaranteed. It's just the way it goes. Nobody jumps in and goes, well, I'm going to get it my first try, and they nail it. No, that's not where life is made. Life is made. The sweetness of life is made when you walk through the contradictions. When you walk through it, because you become what you were not yesterday. You become through the scars. You become through the pain. You become through the pressure what you were not before. That's what life is. If you want to be a great life leader in every facet or any facet, I don't really care what it is. You want to be a great investor, you're going to suffer loss. If you're afraid of the loss, you won't be a great investor. If you're afraid of the shank, you won't be a great golfer. If you're afraid to tear a muscle, you won't be a big bodybuilder. It just won't happen. So how you handle that is what's going to make you and determine who you become tomorrow. If you do nothing else, if you get nothing else from what I say, remember this. Your life, the best of your life will be forged in the contradictory moments. Walk it down, push forward, don't quit. If you don't quit, there's no telling what you can become. We'll see you next time on Life Leaders.